right. All right. Welcome in. Welcome in. We have a special event for you today. I am pepeJack, and joining me is host of this upcoming tournament, Mr. Gray. How are you doing,
Hello,
Gray?
hello, everybody. Welcome. Hello, Jack. This is very
Lovely.
interesting.
Yes, so what we are doing today is, again, trying something a little new. We are going to be showcasing the new format to you all in this special exhibition match between two of our best competitors here at Bingo Club. Uh, it is quite fortuitous that we were able to schedule this here exhibition match. We got to line it up nicely with the Brawlers taking their off week for TwitchCon, which is super exciting. So we get to corner the market this weekend. I'm sure we'll get millions and millions of views. But yeah, so tell us about the process of organizing this, Gray. How did that go for you?
It was pretty complicated, to be honest. It was more work than I initially thought it would be, but it's pretty amazing. I've been lucky that I have good people around me who helped me. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Merchant, for helping me. But overall, this is as Jack said, showcase of the new tournament that we'll have. For that tournament starts next week, next Monday. I think it's the 27th of October. And overall, these two people that are playing right now, they actually won two tournaments each in our small community. So they are like best of the best. So I'm expecting pretty good fight between these two players.
Yeah, Lokai split formats for his victories. He won the Bingo Bash for the season 2 base game format, and then more recently he actually won the Maiden Voyage version of this Shadow the Erdtree tournament this summer. SÆSAE, on the other hand, is a bit of he's kind of on a league of his own. He is undefeated in Bingo Club official 1v1 matches. He won the Bingo Club Open for DLC this spring, and he won our little Lion Locked special event a couple weeks ago. So yeah,
Quite elite, if you ask me.
yeah. We'll see if Lokai has what it takes to dethrone him as in his undefeated slot. If anyone can do it, it's Lokai or me, but maybe Lokai today, maybe today. I don't know if I'll ever see SÆSAE again in an official Bingo Club match. He's a bit of a like Gray was alluding to, a little hard to wrangle sometimes for these matches.
It's
Um,
definitely nice to see him play, but he is good in avoiding you in the officials from now.
All right, before we flame him too hard, let's move on into the format. So we have a
Sure.
new format here to showcase for you today. So Gray, tell us about this here format.
Of course.
Now
I'm just
would be
waiting for
nice.
yeah. Well, this format, this tournament overall, it will be two-phase tournament. First, it will be round robin, transitioning to two separate double elimination brackets. So, what we have here is the round robin stage will be without eliminations, but it will be for seeding purposes. So everybody will play. It will be really nice to have few matches into it and to prepare for the whole event, for whole vibe that this format has. And after that, we will have double elimination brackets where we actually have stakes and eliminations, basically. And we have something new, one new gimmick that we will show in this match, which is bans. Each player will have two bans. They will be able to ban two purchasable items, either from Kale or Twin Maiden Husk. And bell bearing, Bernal bell bearing is allowed, so they can also use or ban stuff from Bernal's bell bearing. And we have new square set. We got inspired by season 5 of Bingo Brawlers, and we got some pretty good squares here with different varieties, something to spice up the current meta that we had. And I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do with the variant technology in the new Elden Bingo app, where you can not just say different numbers in squares, but you can also completely change the text of the square itself to read something that is like kind of a twist. So there'll be potentially a couple of those showing up on the board today. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I guess one last time to shout out the event. Signups are open for one more week. So if you like what you see, or if you don't and want to yell at us and join like a players meeting and tell us how dumb we are and what better ideas you have, well, screw yourself. But you're more than welcome to, try. But anyway, sign up. Signups are
Definitely.
open. Look for the signups and polls channel in the Discord. But without much further ado, we are gonna get looking to roll into the match. So how the bands are gonna work basically is we're going to fire up the game. The board is going to be revealed, and then we're still working out how it's going to work for the more casual matches or the like the non-tournament broadcasty type matches. But for broadcast, what we need to do is we're gonna reveal the board to our players and we're gonna pause the match. They're gonna be able to like look at the shops and stuff to refresh their memory about what might be bannable. But then they will alternate taking turns how which items to ban, and then we'll discuss the bans and as they happen and things like that. And then once the final ban has come in, the timer will resume and they'll do their normal purchasing stuff that you would normally do before a game of DLC Bingo, and the match will proceed as normal. So, if you could let Drink Time know that we are about ready to
Mr.
go.
Drink. Yeah, we are ready to go. I think the players are ready.
All right. Let's get that board revealed, and then we can work on our bands. So because this is a new process, it might take a little bit of time for them to decide what they're going to ban and for us to get, everything set up on our nifty overlay. So if this takes a little bit longer this time than it normally would in a match for regular players, don't be
Okay.
too annoyed or whatever. We're working out the kinks, but here we go. The match is getting underway.
The match is starting. As soon as the match started, as Jack mentioned, we will pause actually for players to ban. But we can see the board right now. The center square is duped members that are finger ruins. Now the players will have their designated time to look at the board and to decide which items are going to be banned. As I said, they can ban pretty much everything, but not everything that is purchasable at Kale's shop or Twin Maiden Husk. The only things that are not bannable are smithing stones for obvious reasons, and I do believe that as well, because that is part of one square. Basically, you cannot ban something that will make square being unable to be done, basically. If you look at this board, we definitely have some rushable stuff, like a square that is transitioned its way from Lion Locked event into this event. It's acquire for rewards from chests, and I'm pretty looking forward to see that, because that could put players towards Milady, which is quite interesting weapon, but we don't see it that often because you don't have that many reasons to go into answers that early.
Yeah, while they're
Overall,
doing their bans and looking, try to tell us about the variants that we might be seeing on this board. Like what are some variant looking squares that these guys can do.
sure. One example of that is touch 7 Mikela crosses. We usually had 5 Mikela crosses, which was quite rushable, but this puts it a bit slower. But maybe you can be tiny bit more juiced up because you will get more skidoo there. You can explore map a bit. You can prioritize differently. That is one example of it. We have a lot more like 7 hefty pots as well for bell bearings, 3 unique blade assassins. All of those squares are variantized. So it's not written in stone that every time that we roll the board it will be 7 crosses or 7 hefty pots or 3 blade assassins. We have variants, so it can be 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, whatever we determine. So it gives a lot more flexibility for the games, for basically games not to be same again and again over again, and it will make a different outing, which is always good to see from players, the decision making that they are doing, and brings a lot more variety to the squares and what players are actually doing as well. What is also important to mention, plus on top of those varieties, we also have don't need categorization anymore, because categorization had one flaw where that thing that are put into a category, they needed to show at least once on the board. Right now, how the squares are done, basically we don't have issues with the categorization anymore, so we can just have as perfectly balanced boards as possible, basically.
All right, and we do have our first ban coming in. It is going to be that Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman.
Loci. That ban can hurt definitely, since players are used to having it. Because from what I can tell as a player, I do love myself some Dragon Quest Great Shield. I don't want to take more damage than I used to, so this ban can be harsh. And as well, these bans give a lot of variety to new possible builds, because we don't know what is banned. Like, you don't know what your opponent is banned, but it's important to mention what each player banned. Both players are not able to use that thing, so it brings a lot of variety between weapons, between builds that you're going to do, between what talisman to buy, what loadout to go, what affinity to go. I think this brings a lot of variety to the play.
All right, band number 2 coming in. We have Sanctified Wetblade Band.
On SA's end, so say can want to take a bit power from that backhand blades. Backhand blades are stronger and quicker to get than Great Katana, so getting initial damage, like a tiny bit less initial damage from them, it's quite interesting. In the Lion Locked event, we saw a few people actually opting for bleed backhand blades build, but that is a bit more risky approach, because if you want to profit of it, you will go Bull Dance Charm, and that is tricky, especially if you are going towards Hippo early without Dragon Crest Great Shield, one bad RNG attack, and you are over. So quite a lot of interesting takes. So right now, Dragon Crest and Sanctified so far. And just to remind once more, they will have 2 bans each.
All right, and we got Glintstone Wetblade coming in from Loci.
So both main weapons are without their web blades. They're usually paired up with. For backhand blades, it's Sanctified. For Great Katana, it's Cold Infusion, Glintstone Wet Blade. This puts interesting thing. I have tried it once. It will be actually, yeah, it will be interesting because Great Katana with Keen and Greases is quite interesting. I have tried it myself. You still have innate bleed on it, which is quite nice, but I wouldn't bleed infusion on Great Katana, since it will lower your scaling stats basically, but it definitely gives more depth into this innate state of the game where you are deciding what build to go and how will you approach the certain squares. Especially since we have meta, which is really long since season 4 mode came out. So people are extremely used to running Beacon Blades with Lightning Affinity and Great Katana with Cold Affinity. So definitely gives a bit more spice to it.
All right, final ban has come in. It looks like the players have opted to ban wet blades. So black wet blade is our final ban. They've left in some things like impaling thrust at Bernal, but we can go ahead and, now that the bans are all sorted, we can go ahead and get the match resumed. It was supposed to have 3 minutes of prep time because of this pause, but, you know, whatever. It'll all be good.
quite interesting. I did not expect this, to be honest. For 3 wet blades to be taken away, so that means maybe I saw few guys practicing actually a fire, a flame art affinity on back and blades. That could be shout. Or Keen. Keen has amazing scaling. I think on 25, when level is level 25, I think that Keen has S scaling on back and blades and A, if I'm not correct, on Grey Katana. So Keen could be nice if you are building purely decks, basically. Now we are looking what the players will actually ban. So
Yeah. Keep covering. I still have to prep like one more screen with all these bands and stuff, so
sure.
feel free to keep on
No
yapping.
worries. As I mentioned, we have 4 chests as a square. That could indicate that some of these players, I would assume Rosa, will actually opt for ones to go for Milady, which is a light greatsword, and it's quite fun weapon, stylish, definitely, and has innate impaling thrust on it. So it can be quite interesting, especially if you don't have that double proc on Grey Katana, so you can actually profit from the other the weapons that have only one. But it's quite tricky to do it since every basically wet blade that has some procs is banned right now. Bleed is banned, Sanctified is banned, and the Glintstone one is banned. So that shortens definitely what players can use. As I said, there are some players who actually tried using Flame Art on backend blades, and I think it's pretty interesting to have that variety, especially I think overall this game will be a game of routing. Who has better routing in mind, they will definitely succeed with it. Since we have more routing options, like 4 chest gives you access to answers early, but do you really want to be in answers early? 7 hefty pots gives much more variety on which hefty pots to actually take compared to the ones that we are used to. 7 Mikela crosses as well. Should I grab the one in front of Belurat? Should I grab one in Belurat, actually? Should I grab the Skadaview cross? Definitely a lot more variety.
All right, I should
But
be about
players are
able to tune
getting...
back in. Had to make sure that everything was all set on the post-game screen.
Yeah, of course. Players are getting ready. We have about minute, a bit more, till start. Players are right now thinking what the strong areas are. And from what I can see, South can be really interesting here, both from ELAC and from ADM. We have tool there that is quite accessible. We have a lot of stuff connected to South as well for hanging pot belt bearings. I think we have 3 on the way towards South if we combine both approaches, ELAC and ADM. So that could be very interesting. As well, we have Kill a Boss in Route base. That could open another possibility of actually getting it from the Route base, dropping down in Graves on Skip. A lot of opportunities this match, it seems. And also we have some new squares like Aqua Boat DLC Crucible Talisman. It's again new routing square that will give a bit more power to Ancient Row. With Death by Dancing Lion, that could be a shout. They are on the same row. What do you think, Jack?
I have not gotten the chance to look at the board nearly as much as you have, so anything that I say would very much likely be a repeat of what you said. So I'm mostly just gonna like watch how it plays out. I'll let you handle the analysis, and we'll kind of let it ride.
It's completely fine. Yeah, and the match is starting. So, from the looks of it, they both have that scorch ruins in sight.
Yeah, so neither opting for the Mikula crosses, 7 being slightly too prohibitive for a rush makes a lot of sense. Let's see
You
what.
can synergize it with more things this way.
Yeah, it looks like Lokai might be eyeing up the 4 chests. Blade of Mercy being up here, being a very valuable talisman.
Looks like both of them are doing that.
Oh, did Say find a faster way into Scorch Ruins?
Looks like it. Looks like he's actually ahead right now.
The little shit. He's always cooking up something. Although it honestly is, it put him like 1 second ahead. Yeah, yeah,
It could still matter.
yeah. No, definitely.
I really like the option that both of them are actually going towards the tenses. They will grab Milady if they are going for the quickest way. But I found another ways which is not that optimal as they are. But Reprimand, Fort Reprimand actually have 3 chests in it. So if you want to really synergize with something and don't want to rush it, that is really good option. You can get 2 there extremely quick and still land in Reprimand.
Yeah, if you do opt for Reprimand, you will lose to anybody doing the Ensis chests. It is just faster to do that way. But there's like, it depends on whether you think that this is the premium rush square or not. Because you could, there's all kinds of chests just sitting around that can have something useful in them. Like potentially, there's this 3 max level smithing stones. Well, one of them is at the top of the suppressing pillar in a chest. So I don't know. Maybe if it's not the hottest rush square on the board, you could potentially look to synergize that.
A lot synergy, yes, indeed, Jack. Definitely, I'm looking forward to see what they are opting for. I failed to see. I was looking at the board, trying to analyze it. What did Loki do? So Loki is this behind right now. Grab the
He grabbed
Grace
his
in Squad
weapon.
Ruins?
He
A
grabbed the backhand blades
weapon.
already. You can see it on his person.
Yeah. Interesting choice. I'm curious what he will go for there. I'm keen, maybe? That is the most interesting part about this format, for me at least. Trying to guess and as well to see what players are going for when they are pushed out of their comfort zone, because we will know how much we are used to
Yeah,
basically
yeah,
break down with cold infusion and lightning on backhand blades.
absolutely. Like we've seen some people mess around. I think I heard you out of the corner of my ear while doing overlay stuff mention like flame art and things. Like
Yes.
flame
Yes,
art
on
is a
backhand
very
blades.
powerful infusion. It's made less powerful by the fact that sanctified wetblade often catches strays because of the lightning infusion. So, like, hypothetically, a really powerful part of doing a faith build would be able to swap off to that holy. So you, like, most bosses in the game are either weak to fire or weak to holy. So if you have faith and both wet blades, you can kind of pick and choose the right infusion for the right moment, and that can be really powerful. Say here, getting molested by dogs.
It's
But
always an interesting sight to behold.
yeah, but without that sanctified wet blade available, and with the backhand blade specifically, it might be kind of hard. With the great katana, if you wanted to try that same kind of approach, if you happen to kill Edred for Crucible Wings, you can get your Sacred Infusion that way without the wet blade, so you can kind of skirt that frequent ban in that way. Let's see, so Lokai heading over TLA skip. Does he do the new one, or does he do the old one? How shall we judge him? He's doing the
Oh,
new one. Let's go. Very easy. Very nice. Nice and smooth.
Mr. Jack.
Yes, sir.
I found one difficulty that we have. Actually, how their streams are right now says on the right side on the overlay where the Loka is supposed to be. Can we change their names while they're playing to give them
Yes, you are
better
100%
organized that?
correct. Swoop, swoop. Good catch. Thank you so much. All right.
A bit fidgety.
That looks
Yeah,
good.
perfect.
Not
Yeah.
bad.
It was a bit confusing to see Lokai with the Einstein, basically, since we know that he does
Yeah.
not like to have
Yeah, a lot
custom-made
going on the
characters.
broadcast side, and typically we have a whole event to kind of sort all this stuff out. Ooh, Lokai falling to his near doom somewhere.
Say is actually doing what you mentioned that he will be doing for his last chest. He's not opting for the quickest possible route, but he is combining that with three level max smithing stones. He will go to the suppressing pillar and get the smithing 10?
I feel
Smithing
like
25 actually soon.
I feel like a part of that could have been the fact that there was that dog issue in Ensis. He knew that if it was a rush, that he would be
That he will
losing it
lose
at
it.
that point. So like, why not try and get a little bit of extra value? He did wind up grabbing Milady, so he must have just bailed on Ensis. There is the cross in there and an extra piece of Skidoo, so it's not like terrible progress to make to finish off your chest's route for that cookbook. Underneath the
mark.
grace. Yep, first mark goes to SÆSAE. Very slow chess. So Lokai, if he knows at all the timing, that's probably about like a minute or so slow. So Lokai might be thinking that Sei is at reprimand, and
Good
it
thing
did
for
like reprimand
Loki.
chess.
Good thing for Loka is that he's already planning to block on that row. He picked up one hefty pot in Scorch Ruins, and I saw him picking up mushrooms actually on the way to make that pot so he can finish the Furnace Golem.
Oh, Sei
Oh, the
dies on the new
showcase.
Teolia skip. Very interesting. I wonder what happened there.
Show
That's very rare.
showcase of the news. That happened to me as well. I was confused. I thought it was the user error on my end, but it seems that we might have in some inconsistencies.
I wonder if it was just a settling issue or if Torrent was injured from some other shenanigans.
He did heal Torrent, though.
Okay. Interesting then.
Okay, we can now see that Torrent is definitely full HP.
Yes, so should not happen again. I imagine it was a
Okay, he
settling
definitely
issue.
settled.
Yeah. So
Okay,
we're looking good
yeah,
now.
most likely settling, yeah.
Okay.
We can see that Loka is definitely ahead on the map. Now it's interesting how Loka will profit on that. Will he just rush those hefty pots to get that row off his chest, which is a bit iffy
Yeah,
right
7
now,
is
since the
certainly
number
not
is up.
rushable. Yeah, you're gonna have to do some extra
Belurat
pot
Jail
acquisition.
could be played there.
It could be. Is there any synergy? There's a Spirit Ash dropped in a dungeon, which is fine.
That's one.
But not a whole lot past that.
Not much. Not much. I can see the pots and the spirit ash in the dungeon.
Hypothetically,
That's
with curse blades going up to 3 unique curse blades, like yeah, it's still
You can do
easy to
Mira.
get like curse blades out on the map and stuff. Like you would just need to kill the 2 in Morth Ruins and then 1 somewhere else. But hypothetically, if you're like, man, that's no longer a super attractive rush square, you could look to synergize that with Libirith in the Bonnie Jail, and he in
Get the
fact
pots there.
drops a Spirit Ash as well. So that would be a
Yeah.
potential progress towards a double square.
Which is interesting to me. It's that last row, like row 5, which is not that rushable. But once it gets rolling, it's on the opposite sides with the 2 things in the ancient row. With remember as hitless, that could be done on Romina. That could become difficult real quick.
I don't know if either of these guys are hitlessing Romina. Romina
Maybe
is a
unofficial,
notoriously tricky boss to hitless, and with
and Stolly.
yeah, and with bans, people are not going to be operating at like peak power. They're going to have to make some build adjustments, things like that. Little out of comfort zone, a little bit less damage. So if you could normally power through a fight with just overwhelming damage and get that hitless before something bad happens to you, it's a little bit harder in this format.
We can also see Remembrance, acquire a Colossal Remembrance Armament and Matter on the same column. That could be a shout, but it's a long one, since that is definitely not the quickest thing that you can do. I mentioned before, routing this game becomes quite important, because not just the hefty pots, not just the Mikela crosses that we have here, we have also four bell-bearing pots, which also gives another layer of where the player will actually decide to go for.
Yeah, four has got to be the max for that square variant, I think. So
it is.
Yeah, it is asking a lot of routing from our players. So
and we also see.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. We also see the new variation in this square set, because we have kill the Magma Worm. We have an option to have it either as ADM or Magma Worm. So Magma Worm also gives one max level Smithing Stone. That could be shout. It's on the same column.
True, that is a bit of value.
Also goes for Beck and Blades. Yeah.
I do think that the Magma Worm as a point of like interest is more like if it's in a cool spot on the board and it's just like a really powerful square, having people go for it off rip with like maybe 1 Skidoo or something, that sounds like a bunch of fun. This one just being a square that's value, like I don't know, people aren't going to kill it super early. It's just going to die super easily. So not maybe the most exciting board for that Magma Worm square, but I could definitely envision some boards where an early Magma Worm, like center square or on an important diagonal or something, could be really exciting.
On this board, it's quite interesting that you can synergize it with level max Smithing Stones.
Yeah.
Max level. Yeah.
It's not too bad. Hypothetically, weapon from a forge as well. You could look to clear a
Yeah,
forge and grab one of those. There's actually 2 max level smithing stones in Telu's forge. So if you go out the way of Telu's for any reason,
there are two.
There's one at the end, and then there's one just before the end on the ground.
I didn't know
But
that one.
there's not a lot of reason to do
I mean,
Telu's in specific.
you have the option to go into row base for killer boss row base on the diagonal. Definitely, that could be shout. I can see that happening actually. It's not that bad.
Yeah, would be a little bit of progress towards that, indeed.
And you have most options. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in Taylor's Forge you have most variety for weapons. I think you have 3 weapons that you can pick up in Taylor's Forge.
They are among the worst for killing remembrances. Like the hammer's not horrendous. The charged
It's a
R2
bit
is
heavy.
hilarious, but not necessarily the most effective for killing things. The
It's
R1
funny
chain
to
is
look
of
at.
course fine.
Yeah.
The shield is just going to be too low damage. It's just going to take forever. And then the axe is also probably not super ideal. So not really the greatest
I
weapons.
used Great Hammer a few times, especially on Romina since were doing bounty boards, and I must say Jumper 2s are pretty powerful. That does some really fine post damage. But it's a definitely heavier weapon, more money to upgrade than the weapon that is mostly being used for that square, which is Smith's Grip Spear,
Yeah,
which is in also the one of the most like on the way forges. Still Starfall Past Forge is right there near
yeah, it's very
Mordrains, and
early
everybody
on.
will have. Yeah.
If you have any like pocket money, it's relatively cheap to upgrade. You buy your stones first, go into the forge, grab it, memory of grace out, pop your pocket money, and then it can upgrade quite easily. In
Yep.
formats where impaling thrust is legal, like this one can be, but not by necessity. They could have banned it this game. Then you could ban out impaling thrust, and they would have to choose some other option for a weapon from a forge. But that's been a very common one that we've seen.
We can see both players going back section and going to Rao. I can see Loka is already on the bridge.
Yeah,
It's
Say
quite
still has
interesting.
quite a
I don't.
ways to go before we know exactly what part of the map he is eyeing up through Shadowkeep, but
And Say is using Flame Art. I
oh
really
really?
like
Oh
seeing that.
my.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a heck of a time killing that magma worm because those things are like incredibly resistant to fire.
I'm trying to see, is there any reason to kill Romina except the access to for that Fat Inquisitor? Romina will melt with fire damage. She's weak to fire, that will be quite nice.
Not really. I mean, the Deathblight Lion would probably be quite
Dupe.
nice with fire.
And Dupe as well. Like, you need the remembrance for that. You can kill Romina for that, since he will have access to Romina quite
I think
early
you're
if
a
he's eyeing
little
up the same thing
overly
as Lokai.
focused on Romina, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't like fire is
I
good
don't
against
see.
plenty of these remembrances. Like the Romina is kind of a mid play, to be honest. Like
I
it's gonna be
really
fine
don't
against Gaius, really.
see.
Like Gaius can be your dupe just fine.
I don't see that much appeal right now for that Rao play, except those talisman to block on that diagonal, or
There is a curse
actually
blade out
tool,
here. Yeah,
bone
yeah. Oh, he's going
stone,
for the Bond
the
Stone. All
tool.
right, we're seeing some Bond
Oh,
Stone.
oh, I like it. Say will be proud when he's watching this VOD. Now he can say, "Oh, even if I lose, he grabbed bone stone. I can lose happily." I like this. It's definitely not the option that you would consider as the quickest one, because if I'm correct, the quickest tool that you can get is the one that you dropped by
Seed
Tree
acquired.
Spirit.
Yeah, yeah, that would be the fastest possible one that you could get. But
Yeah.
this one is extremely efficient once you have the map to just make that little jaunt over,
Oh
do
yeah.
the skip into the backside of the ruins and grab it.
My initial thoughts when I looked at this board is were actually south ones, either the one from the Tree Spirit or the actual what's called Perfumed Oil, since we have few things south that we can take care of.
Yeah, there's
But
the
I really like
Sleep
that I saw a bone stone.
Troll. There's bell bearings in the Elac River. With
There is
4 bell
TBA if you are doing
bearings.
from there is TBA if you are doing it from ADM as well.
Yeah, yeah. With 4 bell bearings, you're kind of right near Chief Bloodfiend potentially for a Spirit Ash dropped in a dungeon.
That is
Chief
true.
Bloodfiend does drop
And
one of those.
you have Rao raw base boss as well, so you can technically do that from raw base
You
and
could.
drop down towards.
You could
Drop
indeed.
down towards.
I don't think we're gonna see any
This
row base terribly early, but we'll see.
I would love to, but yeah, I definitely see that.
So Say kind of eyeing up this potential Fire Knight Ash of War. Potentially looking at Kood. Loci on the chase, so we'll see. We'll see what they choose
The
to
thing
do.
that I am really looking forward to see if they opt to, since both of them have back section, so they might go for to dupe in Finger Ruins back section. But if they are going south, I would love to see new skip that our friend Drink / Torrent Everywhere made. It's quite interesting skip. It made purposely to speed up that square. It could be really nice seeing it.
Which one are you talking about?
If they are duping in the Finger Ruins south.
Yeah,
Basically
I don't. I
duping.
don't think we're seeing a south dupe. You would
I
probably
would
dupe at the north one.
most likely, but there are definitely things that are leaning there. If you're doing meta, you will want to have south either way. You can grab one pot bell bearing on the way towards
Sure.
ADM.
But like, it's definitely like Gaius hitless. There's the minor
Oh yeah.
Erdtree for the spell. Progress
Oh,
towards
Loki dropping
Metter.
down.
Really? Oh, okay. You might be looking at crosses. Does he know how to get
Fourth
to
floor?
fourth floor cross from here? Looks. Is this death?
He
No.
could
Okay.
have done it a bit. Yeah, he can do it this way, but he could have done the straight way. I saw Blanks doing it for one.
Yeah, yeah. It could have been a little smoother, but this is also not a super common route to take. So that
If
is
it works, it
6
works.
crosses. So now he can drop down to Ensis, or he's looking at eyeing up Moor at this point. Meanwhile, Say moving towards Gaius and that hitless dupe spell stat requirement square. Oh, this way.
Yeah, we have minor Erdtree. Yeah, and they both, no, they did not, but Loki did pass Salza, and he has Grace after Salza for that square.
He
So
does, but
if
he would need to do something a little weird at this point to get the other one. Like he'd need to kill Rolana, which doesn't have a lot
Rolana
of
looks like,
value.
yeah, Rolana, it doesn't have that much link to her, but it's a quick memory that you can do for that dupe. Especially hitless as well. We saw a lot of people actually learning to do Rolana hitless, so it's quite interesting.
Damn, who are those crazy people?
I don't know. Me, you, yeah, somebody else, huh? That like dancing
Okay,
line,
Say
I love
going
to
back to
see how the
Lofts.
people will actually approach it.
So we saw the Mikola crosses, and it seems like he's thinking he has time on the Gaius stuff.
He's going Kood right now.
I think so. I can't really imagine what else he'd be doing. He's leveling, so he's planning to kill something. Seeing that
He's promoting
faith.
that row 4.
Seeing that faith juice up. Loki still has to upgrade. He hasn't even gotten his weapon online yet. he's talking to you.
Now we will see if he will go for Keen. No,
He did
he's
not set
going
his
with
Ash of War. Okay, he's going
Keen.
Keen.
So
Okay.
he will have that pure dex scaling.
Oh, Loki, he bought the wet blade at the start. It appears he does not know that blind spot gives you Keen for free. So he could have saved.
He bought Iron one.
Yeah, you could have saved 35k.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing that people will learn throughout the tournament, definitely, because that is something that we are not used to currently, and just brings another layer to actually thinking about the game and getting you out of your comfort zone. Fire damage on Kood.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, resistances in the DLC are not as extreme as they can be in the base game. Like a good example is Magworm. Like the Magworm is gonna have like 80 fire resist or something insane like that. But if you took Flame Art into Mesmer, he's only got like 40, I think, which is still a lot. But like he's the fire dude. Like if
That
this
is
were
for
base
first
game,
phase, right?
I don't know. I don't remember
I
off the
think
top
for
of
the
my head.
second phase it drops down
We
a
haven't
bit,
seen
and
a whole
his
lot
main...
of flame art. Okay, I'm going off of working memory. Could. But yeah, if Mesmer were a base game boss, he would have like 80 fire resist, like Moog does, 100%. Like
This looks interesting. It looks like
Oh,
Mr.
he
Loki
is
is
taking
actually
the
going towards Belrad jail.
yeah.
He have 3 hefty pots there, and Spirit Ash dropped in Dungeon Host, so he's working towards 2 blocks for that row 4.
Probably just needs to go back and get the Morth Ruins or the Scorched Ruins one. I don't know if he grabbed the
He got that one.
Grace.
He
Oh,
got
okay,
that
so
one.
he's
Yeah.
missing the one in
In Bonnie
Bonnie
Village, most likely. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the one closer to the jail, I suppose.
Maybe he didn't tick it on the board, but he went Rao. He might have grabbed one or missed one. I missed
I
that
mean, I wouldn't be
part, though.
surprised if he did like Oh Mother skip and just grabbed the closer pot and then didn't like go
Yeah,
all the way back
I
through the
think
village for
that
the
is
other
maybe the
one.
case now that I'm looking retrospectively. But
Oh my say,
Could
dude.
is
Okay.
yeah.
What is going on with this guy? Huh?
That is not to say that I am afraid of every day. I must say that.
Very interesting. Not rolling through the old Cood slashes and getting kind of messed up. I wonder
This
if
is
he's just
surprised.
like used to dealing more damage to Cood and like the build
You are
is actually
stepping
giving
out
him a
of
little bit
your
of
comfort
shakes.
zone. I think that is
Yeah,
a big part
he's
of
shaking
that.
off the tilt a
Definitely.
little bit.
That is one pepeJack I see right there.
Oh, but happy. I want to see
Could
him. I want to see good quality
could
gameplay
is
here.
could is getting revenge for Jack. Right now, they made a deal. Although I doubt that Could will be easy to bribe, considering fact where he stands.
All right, surely he's got
But
it this time. He's playing very safely.
I did not set up counters in this
Oi,
overlay,
oi,
Jack.
oi.
Don't make me do it. Oh,
Huh? Really? Okay.
Could I didn't know that he has that many iframes on getting up, to be honest.
Nice dodge on the parry. He was patient, baited it out.
Could is
Yeah,
definitely
he's shaking a
formidable
little
foe who
bit,
can strike.
but this should put it away.
Yeah,
All right,
that's it.
and that is our Fire Knight Ash of War. So,
Just a bit patience needed.
yeah, Fire Knight Ash of War is a little bit of a tweak on a square that we had for the first Showdown, which was just killing Cood, essentially. This one allows you to make a little bit of a routing decision between doing Queline's quest and killing him the second time to get his Flame Skewer, or whatever it's called. And this one being Flame Spear, so that you can either kill Cood by Mesmer, which is really nice, or do the Queline quest if Bellerod is strong, or if Iris is important, or Invaders is on the
I would
board.
also say that you can synergize this square. Like if you have give Iris to NPC, you can do Queline to progress that as well. If you have three helms that do not belong to armor set, you can do Coods. You have different options. Then Cood Ash of War, it's quite good and useful if you are doing Grey Katana, and let's say you are fighting Scadutree Avatar. We see that as a meta for people to actually go out of their way to kill Cood before doing Scadutree Avatar, because that Flame Art Ash of War, especially if you put a few points into Fate, it's extremely powerful.
That is correct. Say's damage looking much better against Curseblade Assassin than it was against Cood. I do wonder about his decision to not have Fire Scorpion Charm on. I kind of shit on the Lightning Scorpion Charm a good deal because of the way that the damage is allocated between Lightning and Physical. But Flame Art is very elemental heavy on the damage allocation, so like I think the Scorpion Charm on these types of infusions make a lot more sense. Meanwhile, in the Ons fight, we are getting blended a little, back rolling. Okay, space is the grab. Double
Beef that I have with
chugs.
Scorpion Charms.
Oh, patience on the roll. Okay, very nice. Little overroll, but still getting juggled. Needs to probably stop double healing. It's getting him burned a little, but the Ritual Shield does kind of cover him when he does that, so even if he tanks a hit, it's not so bad.
Thankfully, that was not banned as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Dragon Crest we're seeing a little of, perhaps. Like, the lack of Dragon Crest. Cood doing more damage to Sei than he's used to.
Yeah.
The little monkey boy here bullying Loci. This should put it away, though.
That's
Nice
it.
job by him. Gets the block that he needs and starts to build a column 1, which Sei is already working on the block for, so this will not...
But he has Bale. You don't want to. I think SÄSAE wants
It's not
to
even
have
worth
a.
talking about, to be honest. This is his third curse bleed, so it's gonna be
Yeah,
blocked.
definitely. But I think the SÄSAE's decision to go for Casblades now is based on that, basically, because he doesn't know which tool Loki grabbed. Might have been Bonestone, which indicates that he's in row for both Crucible talismans, and you don't want to be the forced into Bale, because Bale is pretty long. And we know that Say is pretty good strategically player, so he wants to cover all bases that Loki has progress on, basically, and to block all possible threads.
Yeah, so now he's back to back gate to look at Gaius, I presume. Are we doing a talisman buy here, or does he just stats, huh?
And
Okay.
Loki is grabbing last half the pot. Yeah, it was the one. He did grab the one which were closer when he was running the back section.
I'm kind of wondering why Say is choosing this moment to collect on Gaius, because he seemed like he made the read that Loki wasn't doing this and pivoted away. But then when Loki marks Spirit Ash in a dungeon and like hefty pots and stuff, it definitely doesn't say to me that, hey, I'm closer to backside Shadowkeep than I was before. So I'm a little confused by this current, yeah, to
I
reset
think that they
Titless.
actually did make a read that Bonson could be a possibility for that tool, since tool was marked at minute 14th. That is enough time to run back section, definitely, and he might be afraid that if he hesitates a bit too much, he will lose the prior that he has on the square.
Yep, and Loki is indeed coming. I gotta say, like, I don't want to be too critical, but this is the shakiest I've seen Say look in a long time. I'm not quite sure what's going on.
I have to agree with that, with you on that. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, gets the nice
Not playing in
strafe.
the as much as he used to definitely is being shown, if you ask me. But
He's
he
been doing a
still
lot of
has that finessing
2v2s. It's
class.
but like 2v2s would still keep you sharp mechanically, and I'm not seeing like strategic errors. I'm mostly seeing like mechanical ones that I.
Is it cold in Canada right
It could
now?
be. It
We
could
can
be.
blame that. Yeah.
Canada is a cold place. Could be some
Yeah.
cold hands. Maybe a little bit of lack of warm up. He's looking a little smoother on this round of Gaius though. So hopefully it's
Having
just
form
shaking it off.
having formidable foe as Loka, it's not giving you like ease of mind for
That's true.
playing,
And
definitely.
Loki is currently sitting at a square lead. He had a threat for a little moment, but then Say blocked it out. So always a little bit of tension when you're facing down something a little spooky.
Okay, did start that diagonal, but Say did as well for the other one. So this Gaius is good for both for that dupe square, because that dupe square can progress both of their diagonals, and it's right there outside. Same as for one of the spells for 50 plus requirements. Those are in hinterlands.
Yeah, Say's got to be super careful now because Loki is in the fight.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a goofy roll. The guy's wide bore hitbox could have caught him there. But still looking okay. I'm wondering what he spent his 50k on out of back section. Like, was it just this ritual shield talisman and some stats? Because like, I don't know why he doesn't have like a rotten wing insignia or the scorpion charm. I feel like the value on those would
Okay.
just be extreme for where he's at in damage right now. But nice kill.
Definitely the thing that you can profit the most when you're using back and blades is that Rotten Wing Insignia. That multi-hit damage is the thing that keeps back and blades in the meta all the times, because that extra damage is pretty nice.
Another worthy target for bans. More likely Thorny, because Thorny is technically a more powerful effect. It is a higher percent damage boost, and it's a lot cheaper. So if you're looking
It
for
is
a
cheaper, yeah.
efficient backhand blades ban, Jesus, how did Loki get under the feet of that boar? That was crazy. He's in a bit of an
Yeah, that
awkward
was.
spot because he saw the hitless go down, but it was like 75% of the way through the fight. Like, it's a little tough to make the call to go for it here, because if you think that was Gaius, then like the finger ruin is right here. I don't know that. I mean, he could be assuming that Say would sit on. Dude, the strafes are so tight. Like, I love strafing that, but that looks dangerously close to getting kicked in the
That was
head.
pretty close, yeah. I mean, the best thing from what I'm getting that his perspective is right now that he's thinking, I am behind right now, but maybe if he goes to do something else, I can still dupe away from him because I'm here as well. He might have done
Maybe.
Relana, I don't know,
Dupe
but
is center
it's a
square. I don't think it's hanging out. The other problem
yeah.
is if he finishes off Gaius here, this is like the easiest boss to do with a goofy weapon, like the weapon from a forge square. So I have some concerns, especially because he's also not immediately eyeing up like the skidoo or anything to like kind of get some value out of this play. He's just gonna kind of get sniped. I mean, Say could pivot, but I don't think he
I think
will.
that
Not center
Relana is
square. Like Say has a
Relana
live
is startly
diagonal.
yeah. But Verlana is getting bullied by those weapon squares lately, from what I saw. People are opting for Verlana kill as well if they don't have Gaius access or if Gaius is already taken as this is a chance. So Verlana is still a valuable option for that. I don't see that many things in Belgrade for Lion to be there. Other Membi that is on board is Meta, but I think that is definitely out of the question for that.
Okay, let's see if Say knows exactly where this coffin is. It looks like he's going the right way. Yeah, right at it.
Yeah, he does.
Alright, so
This is a
pretty
bit painful for
substantial
Loka.
snipe. Yeah, that's a double snipe that Lokai did kind of walk into. This map
And he
progress
cannot.
isn't terrible,
Yeah.
because there's Meta, Colossal Armament, which is now technically a combo. Lokai's still going.
But he chooses to
He's thinking.
thinking, yeah, potty walk with Torrent.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, this column 2 is also quite dangerous. It was also quite dangerous before the dupe was marked. It could have been wise for Lokai to start working on bell bearings at the time, because if you assume that Say is going to immediately dupe, then all of a sudden you're facing down a double threat, but the double threat block would be this hanging pot bell bearing square. So you would get two threats out of the way at once. A lot of the synergy is now gone. Like, yeah, you could set up the sleep pot troll a little bit. You've already gone back section, which is nice. So that's kind of like 3. The others
Listen,
are a little tricky.
I have a shout.
Okay.
Loka is going to drain the water and do Scaducci Avatar.
I mean, he can. It does look like that's what he's doing.
Even though Matter is on the board, and Matter is the boss that gives you colossal amount, I think he wants to be at ease of mind state, because that colossal armament square will block both diagonal. No, that diagonal is already blocked. Sorry for me bluffing. But it is a strange choice to make when there is a Membi which gives you colossal armament. That
yeah, I mean,
is
Meta is
something.
very far away. And yeah, I don't know. It does present like a counter threat on row 2 potentially, but the row 3 is just faster than all that. So like Say is already eyeing up a block on the stat requirements, so he's gonna presumably go kill Salza now, and so he'll have the block on that row 2 already. And open up a column 5, which is all of a sudden quite interesting because he already has one smithing stone, which Lokai almost certainly has forgotten about because that was very early on in the game. It was like one of the first actions Say took. So Magma Worm for stone number 2, stone number 3 in a forge perhaps, and then all of a sudden, if he secures this stat requirement spell square, which it looks like he's going to, then it's just like a boss in Rao base, which is something that either of them could win at any point, because neither of them have any prio.
It's a tough situation.
Yeah. So
definitely.
what was looking like a really nice situation from Lokai, now due to running into a double snipe, has all of a sudden turned the tables in a big way in Say's favor. Very, very nice for Say. All right, let's see if the Salza looks a little cleaner than the Cood. He did skip this Grace, so he's expecting no issues.
I would actually assume that he will go past Salza right now. Maybe not. I want to say that he will go past Salza and
Ritual
actually go
shield
towards
disabled.
that
He still doesn't have talismans.
He has Blade of Mercy and Ritual Shield.
Cool. But... He's missing some. Oh my god. Oh, he's in the wall. He's in the wall in the rain. Okay, the rain went away at the perfect time. Of course it did. All right, gets the stagger, gets Blade
The
of
guy's
Mercy,
lucky, yeah.
gets a window to heal.
Mr. Lokai might be going ADM now to get block on that diagonal, promote his rogue 2 with Tibia. Tibia with back and blades is marginally easier than with than with Great Katana.
I would say a bit more than marginally, but yes. All right. So there is the stat requirements.
Let's go with that row 2 that I just mentioned.
Yep.
For good. SÄSAE is doing pretty amazing thing. I already said that he's extremely good strategically, and he's doing the thing that I literally said that he does good. He's blocking all possible bingo lines that Loki is presenting. Well, right now, the only one that is still there is row 1.
I also just realized that I was yapping about a column 5 threat, and like I'm so used to SÄSAE being blue and Lokai being red that I got their colors mixed up. Why did you do this way, gray? Like Lokai is supposed to be red. SÄSAE is supposed
Canadian
their flags aren't on the broadcast. It doesn't make any type of thing, dude.
Yeah. That was one of the possibilities that I had in mind when I was making it, but to be honest, I forgot.
Really?
Yep.
All right, let it encounter another block, and that would put it to majority for SÄSAE. This one square covers the last two possible lines. We didn't really talk about player personalities at the start of all of this, like we normally do. Just a lot going on. We're trying to juggle a bunch of things, but SÄSAE is more known as a like defensive player, pushing the game to majority, getting an early lead, staying ahead, that kind of thing. Very rarely will he look to actually close out on his threats, and we see Lokai kind of, playing as if that is the case. Like he's not incredibly worried about this column 2 at the moment. He's not incredibly worried about this row 3. Okay, he's going for the magma worm.
To be honest, I just debated myself with the colors. Basically, I saw Lokai going for magma worm. I said, "Oh, he will have 3 squares in that row 3."
Yep. It just happened to you too, huh? What a decision! What a decision that was. And then conversely, Lokai is a bit more threat oriented. He is definitely willing to close out bingos. He likes having threats to leverage against his opponents. So SÄSAE taking the opportunity to shut every single possibility that Lokai would have at his fingertips down as soon as he possibly can is probably a pretty calculated move against this player specifically.
Once again, this magma worm is also one of the max level stones, so it's also progressing a bit towards that for Lokai.
Yeah, and it is a bigger like time investment stone than takes
the SÄSAE has.
Shot there. Yeah, than the one SÄSAE has. So Lokai will be ahead, functionally speaking, on the smithing stones at that point.
Oh, nice. Magma worm is pretty like a routine fight that we are doing, especially for somebody with base game experience as Lokai. But this arena is small, and if he decides to spam these charges that he's doing, that can be really annoying. I'm not saying that you necessarily die every time to that, but you will lose time for that.
Yeah, Mr. Lokai, you have to do something about being in this catacomb, or this cave, rather.
There is a drop down there that he doesn't seem to know about.
He wanted to port out. He opened his map and was like, oh, right, I'm locked, because this is a dungeon, and that is not the boss.
I think it's good for him to actually progress throughout ADM. I want to see him kill that Tibia, because I would be scared of that diagonal.
Yeah, probably. Well, I mean, he has access to the Crucible Talismans, but now so does SÄSAE. SÄSAE having killed SÄSAE, and I didn't watch him do it, but I imagine he grabbed the Grace afterwards. Yeah, and here he goes for the Crucible Talismans.
And this is actually the first time that we'll be seeing people going for that square, which is quite nice.
Yeah, let's see if SÄSAE knows where they're at. I believe they were in one of the 2v2 square sets that he was playing, so it's possible that
could be. And
he knows exactly where they are.
And he has Einstein skin for a reason. I would be surprised if he doesn't know. And as well, that second Crucible Talisman puts you towards that Light Dancing Lion, which promotes that row 5 for SÄSAE. And now, with SÄSAE having one of the smithing stones, The only block that is kind of open for Loka is that pot giant for that row 5.
Yes. We'll see. We'll see how he chooses to address it.
That is dangerous line if Say gets, because in Loki's mind, he's most likely thinking that he's ahead on those Crucible Talisman, but this is
I don't know
not
about that.
looking
When he sees
particularly good.
the stat spells go up, I would be more inclined to think that Say has reached
That
Rao. And
salsa.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's like I think he wanted to port immediately when he saw the Letta encounter
To
to
get that.
Rao because again, like once you win the as you
Yeah.
saw, once you win the Letta encounter, you're stuck in the blabbering and the loading screen and all that kind of stuff. So hypothetically, Lokai could have got the jump on these, and he actually had Devonia's Grace, so it would have worked for him. But he is going to get sniped here.
If Say is not going to cash out on this immediately, this will be extremely painful for Loki.
I don't think Say would have started this if he wasn't looking to cash out. I mean, there could be some deviation on like who gets graces or something, because
It's
like
still too much
yeah,
difference
if
right
Say
now.
grabs
But
Romina's Grace and then goes to the other one, then Lokai's like not that far behind. He could definitely win it at that point, but yeah, we'll see.
it's iffy.
It's almost like the Deathblight Lion Grace is more important because you can get back down from that Grace to Romina eventually, and Romina, as I mentioned at the start of the game, despite the fact that you were fixated on her, is not that important on this board. So like, I don't really know if there's a reason to go get
That
Romina's
is
Grace
all one
before.
square behind Romina. And you can kill the Romina with the weapon from Forge.
You can kill all kinds of bosses with weapon. You can kill Metter with a boss or a weapon from a forge. Like,
I would not do, to be honest.
well, that's because you suck at Metter. So.
Fuck you. Definitely interesting board, interesting situation, but like unfortunate situation for Loki right now. He got double snipe so far, and he's walking himself into third snipe this game. This one definitely stings.
Yeah. Again, he's not that far behind if Say chooses to go for Romina's Grace, which he is. Which he is. So if Lokai does... Oh god, he's getting bouncy balled. If Lokai does forego Romina's Grace and just goes straight for the talisman, he can win it away, but he has to make that call. And he has to be, like, on the line.
Oh, sugar, please.
No Gordon Bennett moments, please.
Me as completely biased organizer of this tournament.
Yeah, we want to see good games. We want to see good games. And we want to see Say's undefeated streak come to an end. Nah, he's going for this Grace. That's a big pity.
He's walking himself into another snipe, sadly.
The thing is like, okay, so we as commentators obviously have both perspectives, perfect knowledge, all that kind of stuff. I think it's legitimately just like smarter to go for that talisman like in the direct way, again, because you can drop down from Deathblight Lion's Grace. Deathblight Lion is on the board, so it's just more important than Romina's Grace. Romina is so much slower. Like the square is ages away from these guys. Well, all right.
Yep. Ding. This one hurts. That's looking at the board.
That's a look at the map moment. Oh boy.
I've been there. I definitely been there. And some will maybe add fucking piece of shit after that, but yeah, definitely this situation is hard. Especially now that diagonal is looking feisty. He's switching to Flame Art as well right now. He's doing Erdtree. He wants to block that column too. But that diagonal is not really troubling since you need to go both south and
Say going for the Skidoo here. All right, so he's gearing up for the late game. He's thinking about killing some stuff. It's interesting that he didn't grab the Deathblight Lion Grace while he was there. It is a very nice square for him because it does progress 2 of his threats. But as he gets closer and closer to the majority win, the threats start to matter less and less, and it's more about just like picking off squares.
Oh, Lokai has a lot of things to do to be in majority, sadly.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's 8-5. Loki got sniped 3 times. That
Yeah.
is the difference
Very,
between
very
the
hard to
accounts.
recuperate from. Oh, Ref is
Yeah.
saying he did grab the Deathblade Grace. Okay. Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you, Drink,
And
for
and
keeping track.
I don't know if I just remarked on it or if I am senile or something, but he did go and
He's
shop for
going for that
talismans,
immediately, it
so he
seems.
now does have Rotten Wing. He now has Fire Scorpion Charm, so his damage will be significantly higher than we
And
saw
he's
in the
going for
guy's
that
fight.
immediately.
Yep.
Loki needs to be quick with his decision. Good thing is he's already heading that direction. I assume he's going to fight Tibia right now.
Well, the
But
funky
when
thing
he
is that
sees
at this point, I know he went back and drained the water, but at this point, like with the
Matter,
map progress that he has, yeah,
Matter,
Metter is
yeah.
just kind of better, I think.
You have everything that you need for meta, basically. You have back section to get to meta. You have basically access to both horns that you need to ring, and why not? It's a double square as well. So
Yeah, and he needs to make a
uh,
big play to kind of come back into this game somehow.
although fire damage is good for Lion, which we know, and this Tesla Lion is not easy to kill, as people might
Say did
think.
take
He
off the
can be.
Scorpion Charm. A little bit of fear here. Okay,
He knows
doing
that
a nice
this
job
guy
here
had
quitting
hit.
out.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to hit this golem. Oh, we're gonna see a skip showcase from Loki here.
Oh, oh,
The
oh,
skip to
oh, oh,
Karos.
oh. Oh,
Oh,
well,
well, okay.
fail.
Not the
Yeah.
smoothest. new
I
skips
saw Tom doing
being
it like
worked
this.
out.
Yeah.
Not always gonna be the smoothest first try.
That damage is pretty good on the Dancing Lion. That was just a simple R1. It was pretty nice.
All right, and that skip saves about 15 seconds. So even with the
If you
quit out,
quit.
he's now like roughly the same speed as he would have been if he had not attempted it at all. So he didn't really lose anything. Although actually, to the tibia specifically, that skip's probably not worth it, to be honest. Hard to say. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
As I said,
Who
good thing is
knows?
that he's already going towards the direction of the sleep patrol. So he gets covered this column
Jesus, look at the damage though on Deathlight Lion. He's down to 30%
nice.
before the phase transition
Deathlight
even.
phase.
Yeah.
Yep. And he's not doing the annoying attacks in that phase, it seems. He's having good energy as well.
Yeah. I mean, this is part of the fun of the bands. Like, you discover some things that just like, holy
Damn.
shit, dude. That thing
That
didn't stand
was-
a goddamn chance. Wow.
That is smoother than my regular Lion. Damn it. Oh my god,
Yeah.
these guys.
Flame art.
Loki going again. Did Loki die on Tibia?
Yes, it does appear so. I mean, I had my eyes closed in
Yeah,
Craigasm
definitely.
face from that lion kill, so I definitely missed it. Okay, he's going from the tip of the like feathers of the wing rather than like the bone sticking out or whatever.
It seems that
Less-
landing is a bit safer,
less smooth.
but yeah.
Potentially, but it's not like a terribly risky skip. But if you haven't practiced it all that much, it makes a lot of sense.
What is in this forge? Say
Smithing
there is a
stone
smithing
weapon.
stone, but what weapon? Daggers or anvil hammer?
I mean, he's got faith, so the anvil hammer won't be that hard to wield. All he needs is like the strength tier,
Strength?
basically, and maybe a few levels.
How much strength do you need? I think 30 or I think even more than 30. For
No,
an
you don't
anvil
need more
hammer.
than 30. It's like 39 to wield the whole thing. So like you
Yeah,
for two
I was
handing,
thinking
you
of
only
how
need-
much
the whole
overall
thing,
you
yeah.
need.
It's 39.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So you need like 26.
Skips have not been his friend today.
Neither does Says. Say down to Yulia first.
So let's keep a notepad of all the mistakes they've made and rub it in their face at the end, shall we?
I think it's quite nice introduction for this that I want to have skips as issues, since we have a skip specialist in our server, which is helping us with skips.
Also, to answer your question, Merchant, no, the players cannot ban smithing stones. They can only ban things that Kale sells or that are from Bernal's Bellbearing.
Yes, and they cannot ban things that affect the game in the ways that you cannot mark certain squares.
Yeah.
Since we have a square with Dadeka Bow, you cannot ban Dadeka's Bow.
Or healing the wounded kindred, you can't ban the crafting kit.
Crafting kit, yeah, exactly. Okay, we can see Loka going for that ban. I think Loka is pretty good set on blocking the stuff that Say has presented, but doing that, I think he will lose a lot of time, and Say will actually just collect the lead that he has, and he will go away with it and win by it.
Yeah, so he's got the weapon from the Forge all set up. Boss and Route Base is a toss-up. Revered Ash is a toss-up. Metter is a toss-up, but Lokai's relatively ahead. He's ahead on Bale. He could be ahead on Pot Bell Bearings if he chose to. So
This is the
Say
last
gets
max level stone for Say.
yeah, I mean, Say gets the smithing stones for free and has the weapon from a forge, and then like everything is kind of evened out at that point. So Lokai has a lot of prio, but he needs to claim it, and he's been having a hard time, particularly with that Revenant.
But issue with that as well is Say it will be on 11 squares.
Yeah, it'll be hard. It'll be hard for sure for Lokai to clean all
It's
this up.
not something that we didn't see already. People actually going back from the deficit and winning. Matter of fact, I did versus you a few days ago. But if anybody can pull this, these two guys can pull this. These guys are amazing players with amazing capabilities.
Yep, we'll see. It does require Lokai to make some good reads in the late game, that's for sure.
And Say to skill issue it.
Yeah. I mean, I've always remarked that the late game is Say's weakest part of his game. So if he's beatable, it's in the late game. So Lokai's just
Which
has
we
to kind
definitely
of
approach it.
yeah, got to clutch up.
Okay, Revenant is being spawned. And I would assume that Lokai knows how to deal with this Revenant, especially since he's a good base game player and definitely faced Revenant multiple
Yeah,
times throughout
knowing
his
how to
career.
deal with Revenant and fighting a duo fight are not the same thing, but
Definitely.
yes.
It helps. So this blocks both that diagonal and column 4. So only thing that is
He's
open for Say is that column 2. But it's a huge time sink for Lokai to go
okay.
for that.
Lokai's looking at the pot, I believe, at this point. He does need
He
to
did
build it. Does he have
get...
the pot? He does. He does. Okay.
Oh,
So this
this is
should
the
be
fire one.
relatively fast for him. Basically, the strat here is you knock down the furnace golem, take the riposte basically immediately, and then one fire pot to the dome while he's down is enough to kill him.
Will this spot be same as the furnace
Oh
spot?
lord. Ooh. Yeah. Well, it will do less, but if you take the riposte, it's still fine. It still puts them in kill
Okay.
threshold.
And back in blades once again, much better for this square. But for Grey Katana, you have Stormblade, so it kind of evens up. But this is definitely the square
You
that
might
it's
have
more.
Stormblade.
Yeah, if it's not banned. That is a good way to think if you are a player. So if you see the board that is strong for Grey Katana and you see Killer Pot with Furnace Below, you might want to ban Stormblade to take off your opponent's edge on that square, or maybe to give yourself the edge.
Yeah, there's like
Uh,
different approaches to bans that you can take. There's like generic bans that are like they kind of did this game like, "Oh, I want you to be a little bit weaker defensively," or "I want like you to have a bit less familiarity with your damage type and stuff like that with the wet blades." But that you can target some bans in order to win squares specifically, and I think it remains to be seen which one is actually like better cuz like if you're just generically powered down, then like both of you are generically powered down. But if you like come at it with a strategy, let's see if he hits the shot. Michael Jordan, let's go.
just saying that Say is so far hitless in this arena.
Wow.
Will he hitless 2 of remembrances in
with
one board?
with a weapon from a forge, I mean he might. This is pretty friendly RNG. Damn, even
Oh,
got the jump attack on the with the colossal. That's pretty hard.
and now jump out 2 into
Oh yeah,
that is second hitless.
very nice.
Impressive showcase of Say. He
All right,
did look quite shaky at
yeah
the...
the rust is gone. He is
Yeah,
chilling
he is
now.
in zone. He is in zone.
Thinking. Church districts. He might just be looking to take away the colossal, but Lokai is here, so this could actually be our first snipe in favor of Lokai, which would be huge. He's definitely doing that here. There's literally nothing else to do here. So if he commits to it, very, very good news for Lokai. Because this really needs to happen. And I think it's a pretty, like, wise choice from SÄSAE, because, like, Lokai is probably like, oh shit, the double square of Colossal Metter is on the board. I need to win that play. So if SÄSAE, like, preempts that play by stealing away Colossal, and then just gets to clean up any old random square, it's going to be really hard for Lokai to snipe him on that last square.
Yes.
But because Lokai is ahead of him on this, he actually gets to pull one over on SÄSAE and get a little bit of a bamboozle.
Yeah, definitely. SÄSAE is absolutely correct, thinking that, oh, sugar, I need to be greedy to pull something off to get back this game. But Lokai is being systematic about it. He is doing step by step. And if he gets all squares correct on this board, he will win.
Well, of course, that is how that works.
Yes, but that is a bit hard to pull. Some might say.
Yeah, he will have a lot less damage than SÄSAE, because SÄSAE has a ton of faith and stuff, but he's far enough ahead that there's, unless he dies like 1 or 2 times in slow-ish fights, there's no way that that he won't be able to do it in time. Just having, like, Flame Art without any faith, the damage is still going to be perfectly good for Shadowtree. Does take
You
a little
did
bit
mention
of
this,
clipping.
that the Rust is off for SÄSAE, but I must say how incredibly awesome that is, that he went from something that looked really shaky on good early to something that pulls hitless on 2 bosses and with a weapon like Anvil Hammer.
Yeah,
That just showed
the hitless
how good they
Romino
play
with
there.
fucking Anvil Hammer is a bit deranged. Like, that's okay. Look, I
That
told you a
just
million
showed their
times how to
class.
spawn this guy. He spawns where your character is looking. Anyone who's watching, where your character is looking, Shadowtree Avatar will spawn ahead of you. So stop spinning around and look where you want him to spawn. All right, PSA, angry rant over. Oh, gets hugged.
No Dragon Crest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that attack is probably largely holy damage.
I think it's holy.
It's probably a split, to be honest, but...
You can pick up Golden Braid.
Well, if you are a gigantic wuss.
Like I am.
Oh my god, Lokai.
Okay, one shot. Oh.
No cursing. Gray.
We didn't add that segment in the overlay, so we will try and refrain from that.
Yeah. Alright, look in the direction you want him to spawn. Stop spinning your... Okay, what? See, it spawned right in front of where he was looking. Look at that, that's crazy.
His technique while dodging the
Yeah, he
explosions.
runs and then tries to time it. Okay, does get it.
Which he does.
He does get it quite frequently. He does a nice job of that.
This is almost... It's enough. It may not be by your book, but it was pretty damn clean fight, if you ask me.
Yep, he's got it. Meanwhile, SÄSAE is pivoted off of the Colossal.
ADM, meta.
Yeah, so this is going to be less of a snipe than it could have been. But he did spend some time on it. Bell bearings. Okay.
I forgot about them.
Yeah, Lokai still has a huge hill to climb as far as snipes. It's really hard to, like, A, predict what your opponent is gonna do, and then B, beat them to it. Like, even pulling that off any amount of times in a game is, like, very tricky. But having to do it, like, 4 times to win this game, that's gonna be quite tough. That's more than SÄSAE has gotten Lokai on already, and we are currently seeing how that has worked out. Like,
Yep. It's quite tough. But Loka is going on a way towards the Rao base. Now the play that I talked about with actually grabbing the Grace in the Rao base and dropping down gives you access to one more bell bearing, and you can get the other one in Nilak. Those are 2 pretty quick ones. Yeah. They both have South ADM access that they did pick it up, and back section 1. They don't need to go Prospect Town. They can go back section 1.
SÄSAE did eye up the fastest bell bearings, like he's currently doing that right now, and if Lokai, like, hypothetically, Lokai has access, once he gets into Rao base deeper, to one of the slower ones, so, like, the progress is not shockingly in SÄSAE's favor, even though he'll have 2 to 0 bell bearings, because Lokai's gotten access to one of the deeper ones, but we'll see.
Let's talk tactics right now. So if we say that SÄSAE will get these bell bearings, that puts SÄSAE towards 12. If you are SÄSAE, what is the square that you will go for?
I split progress, but that's me. Say is more inclined to just like run something down, so probably Metter. Like he doesn't know that Loci has basically the same amount of back section prio that he does. He knows that the colossal armament is gone, which means Sunflower because Metter wasn't marked, and it certainly wasn't Radon. So you might think like, okay, Loci got back section, and like I don't see a reason to have gone back gate at this point. So yeah, I would say that Metter would feel relatively safe at this moment. Hypothetically, you could say that Loci needs to. Well, yeah, I mean, I would split 100%, but you could hypothetically say that Loci needs to leverage all of. Oh, didn't get a second jump. Leverage all of his advantages that he can, i.e., using prio to defend squares rather than actually collecting on them. So with that in mind, given that Loci has shown a bunch of south and SÄSAE has not, Loci is very disinclined from marking Bale the Dread in the foreseeable future. So SÄSAE could just be like, well, you literally cannot do this square because it's in your own region, and if you mark it and I was doing anything else, you lose the game. So I'm just going to go for that, even though it's like really far away from me. This will be bell bearing number 3 from SÄSAE.
Yeah. I'm wondering where the last one can be. I would assume Milak.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where the last one's going to be. We will see. We'll definitely see, because Loci is going to kill this base rail boss. Interesting that he chose Rugalia.
That's his first one.
Yeah, it's a little far. It's certainly an easier fight than. Ooh, did we lose Loci? Oh no, he's back. It's certainly an easier fight than goddamn NPC. Okay, say killing wolves, farming bones. Yep.
Oh.
Buy the crafting kit, folks. Buy the crafting kit, folks.
That was a quick one to get. Do you know I think fire damage is pretty good on red.
Oh yeah, any animals. Animals do not like fire.
Oh, whoop, he will get caught.
Oh my
god.
Was that a double hit? I think that was a double hit. And
it was most likely, but that dealt some real damage.
Yeah, that was crazy actually.
That just goes further on that point that people are used to having Dragon Crest all the time, because that is like the talisman that everybody buys.
Yep, Dragon Crest, Green Burst here, these are staples.
Ritual Shield as well.
Yeah, to a lesser extent. But yeah, when people don't have these like comfort crutches that they lean on, the game feels very different. Alright, SÄSAE was going base row, so now he'll collect on pop bell bearings, and then he'll be at 12, and then the ultra late game commences. SÄSAE just has to close on one square.
I would agree with you. Actually, Loci looks, from what I'm looking at all his games that I looked in past, he does look like better late game player. But it's a matter, can he guess a few times in a row? Now he needs to get 3 basically snipes in a row for that.
He's definitely caught up a lot in square total.
I would assume that SÄSAE is definitely going Elac right now to get Torrent. Okay, that he's going Elac for the last bell bearing, but after that, Loci is getting back progress on the Fat Inquisitor, and from that point there, Loci is ahead on every square that we have right now. That's left on the board.
It's true. It's true. He does have to guess right 3 times, which is a really tall order.
It is really,
but this is legitimate. This is when we sit up in our gamer chairs. This is one of those times when it is legitimately possible that he could pull this out. It's going to be hard. It's going to be an uphill battle, and he's going to have to get lucky. But it is,
that's the bingus.
Yeah, it is more possible than many other games. No cope.
Oh yeah, definitely. He is ahead. He has ADM that he has basically access to both the horns that he needs to do. I would even say I think Juice related they are pretty equal when he kills this Romina, but Juice at this point doesn't really matter. But one more important thing to mention: if they up, no,
Oh,
like
Say's
then
going for the Mesmer.
I was about to say if they are going for Mesmer, he will be ahead. But I remember that Say actually has Grace for him.
And has Romina dead as well.
Yes.
Okay,
Looks
Say
like
this would be a
it's a
crazy read from
race.
Say. Like I have time to not close out on my hanging pot bell bearings. I'm just gonna sit on these.
Is he looking at Loki's stream?
Well, because the thing that's interesting is like Loki has done a lot of stuff that would like bring him in contact with bell bearings. So if I were Say, like really the most obvious play
I would
would
be
be
scared of that.
to
Yeah.
it would be to
Cash
like
in.
be I have 3 and he has I can see that he's been around like a lot of them. So I should probably close this out as soon as I possibly can to avoid the snipe. Really, I hope I remember, but I would love to ask him about this after the game ends, like why he chose to abandon the bell bearings at this point and go for the Fat Ash. And we might see him kill Mesmer and then go clean up the final bell bearing. The final bell bearing, remember, is going to be a longer way away than what he's currently collected, so it'll be a bigger time investment. So Loki, if Say pivots, could still secure this Fat Ash. But the thing is once Mesmer dies and Romina is already dead, it becomes such a fast square that it's going to be hard for Say to walk away from, I think.
And Say still using Hammer.
He is just
Agro
full on
would be
pivoted.
proud. Yeah.
It's probably better
Love to
against
see
Mesmer
different.
than the Flame Art because of the
Oh,
resistance of the
holy
fire.
damage. Yeah.
I mean,
And
it's
holy
not like
damage. Yeah.
the strike is really going to be all that helpful either, but
Oh, Gaius would be melted by this. Yeah.
all right. What are we choosing to do?
Mr. Loki also in the Mesmer fight.
He kept Flame Art on. I think he forgore. Ah, Say,
Yeah.
dude, what a... Oh, this guy, man, he gets my goat. How did he
I
make
can
this
see that.
read? Like, what is this? This is insane.
Like you have 3 bell bearings, you see Guy actually being all around those places, and you decide to have huge balls and not to commit for that square. That is crazy.
Just don't
And
understand why this. Like,
he keeps getting away with that. He did that versus you in finals. He's doing that again, and he's unhinged. But if things go right his way, which looks like they will, that guy will remain undefeated. It's crazy.
you know,
I mean, officially.
yeah, he may be undefeated, but Gray can beat him while Say's on the phone.
Exactly. Wanted to brag about that one.
I don't know if that's something to brag about, dude. But all right.
But listen to this. I have beaten you multiple times. I beaten Say even on phone or without the phone. But the person who I never beaten is actually Loki. I never beaten Loki.
Very interesting. Anyway, we have a Fat Inquisitor. And he's staggered, and he's dead. The Fat Inquisitor can cause some problems. He does have some moves that you're probably not used to seeing. But yeah, that's gonna be lights out for Loki. Ah, oh, what a pity. What a read from Say. Like, why? What would have possibly
really,
compelled him to make that decision?
Yeah, I'm really
It's so
curious
weird to me. I mean, we'll see what his explanation is. Maybe it makes perfect
In
sense.
my eyes, Loki is winner. He grabbed Bone Stone. Bone Stone is the winning item.
Why didn't he just, like, Memory of Grace? He's going to go get a pot Bilbering. Like, why are we... Oh, you can't. You can't when you're trapped. You can't Memory of Grace. Of course.
You need to sit.
Yeah.
Oh, sugar. He's going for that, and he will have the last one right next to the Chief Bloodfiend's Cave, and that's it.
Round Rock! Okay,
No,
if he throws a Round Rock, all is forgiven. Oh, I will take it. Like, I will not take the Mickey out on him for throwing Round Rock at the fight. Yep. He's doing it for the boys. He's doing it for the boys. The Round Rock. Let's go.
Okay, I cannot be mad at him at this point.
What
but
a
still,
absolutely cinema ending for this match.
ending. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely. But
Using the
that
round
play,
rock.
I am extremely curious. Why? Why? What was the reason to go for Review Dash when he did?
Oh my little guy, dude. Just took us slightly too far to the right and got invaded. Very sad.
Oh yeah. An ADM invasion will perish immediately, but it will just prolong enough for him to get sniped. Oh, sugar.
All right, it is rock
That should be.
o'clock. Will he hit it? It's not the easiest shot.
Oh,
No? Let's go.
both of them looked definitely like misses. He was aiming to
It
the
causes a
right.
pretty big explosion. The strat is to hit it on the
Oh,
pillar,
you
it
think he was going for
explodes
that?
and hits the pot, yeah. Yep, and that will do it.
You
GG's.
can stop the game. Drink. Drink. I can do that. Okay. GG's. Definitely. What a game.
Oops.
I've been on the edge of my seat throughout the whole game. It was an amazing game, but that SÄSAE keeps getting away with stuff like this.
Yep. It do be how it is. That's what we're used to in Bingo Club. If you think you have what it takes to beat SÄSAE, please join up to our tournaments and put this clown in his place. We would love to see it. All right, Gray, do you mind bringing in our winner?
Sure thing. Mr. SÄSAE.
I have him muted, son of a bitch.
I don't have him. Maybe he does have us still.
Hello.
Mr. SÄSAE, hello. GG's.
Hello.
Congratulations for
GG's.
winning.
GG's,
Now,
thank you.
officially, you cannot be bragged anymore about being like not the best player here, definitely. You won
Well, this
everything
is
that
not an
guy
official
had.
match. It doesn't count. It's exhibition. So
It's amazing. You won every game that you play officially. Congratulations, first of all.
thank you, thank you. Just a question to the end: was the Revere Dash the contest or the
Yes.
hanging pot?
How
It
in
was.
You
the
son of a
world
bi-
did you make that decision?
When he got the tool and the Mikula crosses, I was like, he has Rao, and at the end I was like, oh shit. I cannot have anything south. I need to make sure I have that. If there is something to contest that you want to steal from me, it's probably gonna be that. So when I reached my last pot bearing, I was like, yeah, I think this one is more. The Riviera Dash is a bit more of a steal from him. So that's what's went through my mind essentially.
Yeah, I
That
mean that
was
was
crazy
that
read
was a
at that
crazy
point.
read because like also by similar logic, he had also shown that he had been a lot of places where there are hanging pot bell bearings, and so like you had
Yeah.
3 and he had just marked like a square. I thought like maybe you'd get like
Well,
1 grace towards something or just like kill Mesmer and go grab it or whatever, but like yeah, you just made the read that
yeah. Well, once he did the Colossal Remembrance armament, which was not Meteor, so like it was absolutely Avatar. I was like, oh, he does not maybe have much else than that progress. I would have been surprised if he had drained the water early in the game anyway. I wasn't sure if he even had back section for a while, but I assume he did because back section was had many things in here, so
yeah, Hitless and the dupe were huge snipes. He committed.
both.
Yeah, he committed to
Oh,
the
then
dupe after losing Hitless. I'm not entirely sure why. I plan on asking him about it, but
I must say as well. Although I'm about to say you were looking pretty shaky on that good.
oh,
You
that fucking
died to
good, man.
yeah,
I'm
you looked pretty shaky.
I used to double cycle him with lightning. I was like, what is that damage? Did I schedule it? And I'm like, all right, fire. And I
Yeah,
was like,
definitely. And
yeah,
then
it
you
surprised
pulled
me.
two hitlesses. You pulled 2 hitless. You also did hitless in Romina. Or no matter
Yeah,
of fact, with the
and
fucking Anvil hammer on
yeah,
top of that.
and pretty much Mesmer as well. It's just I took
You got
damage
hit once.
trying
Yeah,
to do the phase transition to get faster, but like
yeah.
if I was a bit safer, I would have gotten it as well. Yeah.
All right, now that we're
Truly
done
show
stroking
skill.
Say a little bit, let's get Lokai in here, huh?
I sure think.
All right.
Hello, Mr.
Hello,
Lokai.
Lokai. GG's.
Hello, hello.
GG's, Lokai.
GG's. Good game.
A very nicely mounted comeback in the late game, but Say made a spectacular read about the Fat Ash Inquisitor thing. He had 3 hanging pop bell bearings and then pivoted for it just out of nowhere, like as soon as you started to go for it, and we were like, this can't happen again.
Feet.
This guy can't be doing that. He can't keep getting away with this.
I got cold feet. Like I was like, yeah, I know he has Rao because of tool and crosses and made too much
He
sense.
was in Mesmer. That was crazy, dude. Like, oh my god.
Mesmer? Okay.
Well,
okay,
Romina was dead as well. Like,
Oh, Romina was
Romina
dead,
dead?
yeah.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
That was great. Like from our perspective, like you have 3 bell bearings done, and you just pivot from the thing that Lokai is going for. That is crazy and unhinged.
Yeah, it was like the exact same thing as the Lion Locked finals, where you just like got this weird like bad sniffer, and you were like, I need to do this right now, and it just was like perfect. It's like,
but the thing it was Metter and Bale was like no goes for me, so that was it essentially.
Yeah, and I just thought that you would have set up at least some form of bell bearings, and I thought it'd be like for an exhibition match, it was a funner square to show the Inquisitor one.
Yeah.
Boss fights.
Yeah, but what did you use essentially as weapon?
I
and stuff? Because we
regret-
banned a lot of wet blade.
Yeah. I regret using keen backhand blades. I think after using a little bit of the flame art in the end, I think if I started over, I'd go straight flame art backhand blades right from the start, to be honest.
Yeah,
By
that
the
was
way,
that was what
Lokai,
Say did. Like
you
Say,
raised-
hang on, Gray. Say like absolutely demolished the Deathblade Lion. Like it was dead in I think under a minute. It was just paper. It was messed up.
That was definitely the better shout.
and I didn't want to full commit Fate because like Weapon from the Forge existed, and if I had to go to the Avatar, backhand blades fine and all that, but I didn't do Avatar. I did Romina instead. But if I had to kill Mesmer with it and all that, I wanted strength a bit and use the Anvil Hammer for
same.
Romina and Mesmer and stuff.
I had a bit of strength like halfway through the match, just as like a precaution.
Yeah.
And Lokai, for the future, you have Keen on Blind Spot by default. So I think you bought Iron Wet Blade,
Iron
so
Wet
you
Blade,
wasted a bit of money there as well.
Just
That is a
knowledge
good
issue
thing
there.
to consider.
Yeah, this makes wet blade decisions a bit weird. Like trying to think about the Ash of War and stuff like that. Like if you use the Great Katana, overhead stance is like keen normally, but like Savage Claw is only heavy, so need to be careful about that. So a bit of better aspect.
Yeah, a little bit of
other
adaptability to be sure. Lokai, a quick question. The hitless finger ruin thing. What like the going for hitless totally makes sense. Finishing the fight, you were about like 75%, and there was very little value behind Gaius in any way other than dupe. And I assume that you had to have known that was probably Gaius.
I was thinking it was likely, but I still needed to like head over there because I needed some reason to do the column 2 because I was still between whether I was going to do this Avatar or continue meta to block the column 2. So I was running over there anyway to get a grab a grace, and then if Say thought he could like sit on it, then I might be able to nick it, but it wasn't a good play, so to speak. It was just a if it works out kind of thing.
Gotcha. Was there consideration for working on the hanging pot bell bearings at that time? Because like once Fire Knight, Ash, Hitless, and Dupe go up, then it's the common block, and it kind of solved a lot of your problems at the time. I know 4 is a lot, so like it would have been maybe a bit of an investment, but like running into the snipe after finishing Gaius felt like a really brutal setback to the game plan.
Yeah, it was more so I wanted to focus on the top 2 squares because I feel my routing of bell bearings is not the best, and those other things I could put my time towards. Because it got to the point of like mid game where I was like so defensive and was trying to find some way to put a threat on the board. So if I just followed Say around, and I think it was just going to lose anyway. So I wanted to put at least some time towards other squares.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You don't know, but when you are going towards both Crucible Talismans, if you made a left turn when you were
Yeah, that
approaching
was
it,
a mistake on my part because what the plan originally was to grab the Grace before the stairs and then turn left and then go straight for this talisman. But I ran past it just out of habit, and then by that time I was like, "Oh, I need a Grace down here for Amina, so I'm gonna have to do the run now."
you
yeah,
can
that was just-
actually jump down from that by Dancing Lion's Grace towards Romina. So you don't need Precaution Grace before, basically, for that.
Oh, okay, another knowledge
Yeah.
gap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
I
a
knew I
tough
knew it
one.
existed as well. I grabbed Romina before, but I wasn't 100% sure where it was anymore. It was like, wait, where is it? Ah, shit, Romina Grace.
Yeah, because I think I might
didn't
be.
want to. Yeah.
I think I might be able to nab it if like I'd stuck with the original thing
Yeah.
and like gone straight for it.
Yep,
Yeah,
you
it would have
definitely
been really
could,
close, but you would have gotten it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
So we can give our mountain goat friend homework to make a quick video about how to get.
I'm pretty
to
sure it's
Romina
just a
Grace from
normal
Pepper.
drop down. I don't even think it requires a skip of any kind. But
Really?
anyway,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't remember where it was. So.
do you guys have questions for each other before we do one last pitch for the tournament and sign us out?
Pretty much the beginning. Like I had a horrendous rewards from chest because knockdown of the ladder to Milady and stuff, and it was like, oh, I'll do it later. What was your first thing? Like, was it straight back section row because you marked tool first for the bomb stone?
Pretty
That was
much. I picked up a few things on the way. Like I picked up Blade of Mercy from the chest. I got the pot recipe and a few of the materials so I could do Furnace Golem. Or sort of like
Okay.
getting a few things at once and just trying to see what you were doing. But the plan was always to like go straight to like back section, and then depending on what you marked, depends how far I would have gone.
Yeah.
But I just got all the way there and I was like, one stone into Mickle Crosses.
So you had a weapon very, very late then.
Yeah.
Yes,
pretty
very,
much.
very late.
Okay, yeah. That's what I thought with the amount of running for crosses, tool, and stuff. But if only Coot did not give me the business like that, man.
Yeah. Well, as a note, we saw some of the heavier variants of these squares, like 7 Mickler crosses, 7 pots.
Yeah.
Like they are 4 hanging pot bell bearings, 3 curse blades. They're not always going to be high numbers. We can get
These were
some
the
extra
extremes.
fast versions of these squares. So there could be a lot of adaptability in what each of these squares mean, given on which variant is rolled for the board. So this format, I mean, okay, this game did end at an hour and 11, which is relatively fast by a lot of bingo standpoint, but like it doesn't mean that boards are going to be slower. It doesn't mean that they're going to be faster. It's just going to vary. You know, it's going to depend on your board reading, all that kind of stuff. But in signing us out, we will do one last pitch for the tournament. Do you want to take it away, Mr. Gray, for anyone who wasn't here at the very start?
Yes, of course. Basically, signups are up for 1 week after these streams ends, and basically they end of 26th of the October, and the tournament starts from 27th. This tournament will be 2-phase events. There are no stakes at first phase. It's for seeding purposes, for people to get practice in. And after that, it becomes 2 double elimination brackets, which will be determined in the 2 separate brackets and no collision with one another. So people will have full experience of the tournament. And that's it, pretty much. If you are wanting to partake in those tournaments, if you don't want to partake in DLC tournaments, we have a lot of base game stuff as well. We will have 2v2 events, which both base game and DLC. So there are definitely a lot of stuff to see and that you can find yourself liking. Maybe join Bingo Club channel, hop onto VC, tell us that we did something wrong, that you think we can do something better. We are open for discussions, definitely. And thank you, both of you, once again for agreeing to partake in this match. Thank you for amazing showcase for this. I couldn't ask for a better showcase. Both of you played extremely well. GG's. And I think that's it.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
GG's,
It was a
appreciate the invite.
One also
Insane
quick
game.
other little note about the format. This is probably going to be like the last vanilla DLC tournament for quite some time, given that the Bingo Brawlers randomizer mod is released. We imagine, or releasing soon. We imagine that there'll be a lot of interest in a randomized tournament, so that would be coming up next after this one is done. So this is your FOMO announcement to sign up for the last vanilla DLC bingo event for a long time. This is using all of the sparkly tools that we've been developing. This like board variants, these bands and stuff, and you can really like get the most out of the late stages of this format. So yeah, we'd love to see you stop on by, and thanks for joining the stream. Follow for more stuff whenever we get around to it, and yeah, we'll catch y'all later. Thank you so much. Bye. And once again, GG's. Bye.
GG's.
Bye. GG's.
Bye.
Bye bye.